Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. But not a happy start to the New Year's Eve for the New Jersey Devils, who trailed 1-0 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is now I had the stat, I tweeted it out earlier. Um, this is now the 23rd time in 40 games this season that the New Jersey Devils have given up the first goal in a game. So that's not great. But I can't talk about any of this till I know that we are live. So somebody let me know in the comment section below if we are, and we will get started with a little first intermission chat here. Again, usually we do the post game live streams. As you guys are new here, but this time try to do something a little different because I know the interest is it's not exactly high with the Devils right now, and that's a reflection on the way that management has botched this team. I'm starting to think that even the coaching staff a little bit, they 100% deserve some blame as well. I think management deserves more of it though. But again, that's we'll dive into the current state of the Devils in just 1 second. But before we get to that, let's thank our friends over at New Spine for sponsoring us here on Speaking of the Devils. With 7 locations, they are New Jersey's leading institute for minimally invasive spine surgery. Live your best life pain-free. Visit newspine.com. That's nu-spine.com to find a location near you. So I feel like going into this game, we all thought this was going to be fight night. Obviously, the Devils and Blue Jackets had that crazy game. If you can't remember, going back because it feels like a while ago. But it was just, the beginning of this month, December 1st, Devils, Blue Jackets won 5-3. But in between then was bunch of crazy fights. It was the Voronkov on Brendan Dillon, and then Adam Fantilli on Jonas Siegenthaler, and there were just a bunch of fights afterwards. Sheldon Keefe said his piece afterwards. Coach Dean Evison kind of scoffed at Keefe's comments afterwards as well, stating that Keefe has no bearing on what happens in our, meaning Columbus's room. So you kind of thought that there would be maybe a line brawl tonight. Olivier returned to the lineup for Columbus. Mason Marchment getting traded to Columbus as well. That all led to what we thought was going to be a line brawl tonight, with the Blue Jackets even hyping it up beforehand, billing the game the knockout New Year game. But evidently that doesn't happen. And I think that ends up being a good thing because the Devils need to focus on one thing and one thing only right now, and that's getting wins. They have 9 goals in their last 7 games. They've been shut out in 9 of the last 13 periods. They're winless in 4. Their last win came 12 days ago at this point. The fact that they could focus on just getting the 2 points right now, at least, is a good thing. Now, whether they can do that or not is a totally different story. They had some chances in that first. The Jack Hughes breakaway sticks out. Obviously, I think it was Nico. I think it was Siegenthaler who initially got Nico the puck, and then Nico dishes it out to Jack. So nice feed from Siegenthaler there. Creates a Jack breakaway, which Jet Greaves is able to stop because the Devils' scoring woes have been so dire of late that of course Jack Hughes gets stopped in a breakaway there. And then something I feel like has been a trend lately for the Devils is whenever they get a prime opportunity, grade A opportunity like that, mere seconds later, mere minutes later, the other team ends up scoring. Okay, and this time it was Mason Marchment. The aforementioned Mason Marchment, he cleaned up, I think it was Marchenko's rebound. He had a couple opportunities there. And this all came after Luke Hughes failed to clear the zone. I think the big minus from this period goes to Luke Hughes. If we're talking about players that need to be honed in on, after that one, he gift wrapped Columbus an opportunity there. He was weak, just a very incredibly weak clear off the wall there, leads to, Columbus getting the puck back and Marchenko again getting a bunch of those opportunities, and Mason Marchment ultimately cleaning it up. Once again, I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention this again. The Devils, 23 out of 40 games this year, the Devils have given up the first goal. So this is having shades of that 23-24 season where they were creeping him up on the record too. Then at the end of that first period, the really boneheaded trip from Dougie Hamilton. Thank God they killed it off, but it was a trip near the walls, and just again like all the mistakes for the Devils are just highlighted recently, and especially these guys like Dougie and like Luke Hughes who have been struggling of late. They've been the lowlights here so far. You want to see them clean that up. Whether they can do that or not is another story. But my goodness, I mean, thankfully again the penalty kill killed it off. But let's face it, that has not been the trend lately. The trend of late has been the Devils' penalty kill is 58.3%, which is over the past 10 games, which is the worst in the league. DFL, dead last, okay? So that's not great. That is not great. But that's all I got for the first period. Recap, let's get into your comment section. We have 3 super chats, so we will get to these guys first. Zach Chin, who is the super chat god. Zach, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your support of the channel. And he gives his famous questions of the day, which says, question of the day, what should be New Jersey Devils' New Year resolution? Good question, Zach. And you always do come prepared with the best questions. I guess right now the resolution has to be getting somebody that can actually finish, right? Getting a scoring wing, especially for Jack. I feel like that's been the most pressing need for them. Shoring up some of that center depth as well. I feel like if you, I know that the disgusting, deplorable Slippin' Jimmy Nichols tweeted this out as well. But if you get you plug in a guy like Kadri in that top 6, which I know that they're pushing for offense. That's why they have Nico and Bratt and Jack on that top line there. But if you plug in Kadri there, or at least a serviceable second center that can also bump down to a 3C if need be, that top 6 is really good. And you'll start seeing some of that puck luck come back potentially. But right now, you're just not getting any of that, and so you're seeing results like that. So I guess someone to sum up, put a bow on this long-winded answer, scoring, center depth, and maybe a GM change. I think that might be the top of Devils fans' resolution list for Tom Fitzgerald to get a new job there. Steve KS says just sends $4.99 to channel support and Allied Moving on standby to take Fitz out of New Jersey. That's great. I appreciate that, Steve. I very much appreciate your support, my friend. And yeah, I mean, again, I've mentioned it so many times over the weeks here. Tom Fitzgerald, if he's not on the hot seat already, he 100% should be. His seat should be on fire right now. Because the product of late has just been unacceptable. Again, this team has not won in nearly 2 weeks now, and that is very, very, very concerning. All right, our next super chat, JMB32486, team needs new roster DNA. I know a lot of people, JMB, have mentioned the fact that the Devils, as it stands right now, people are even questioning their core, and rightfully so. Like the star players in this core. Sans Jack, who I think is playing through it right now, playing through that hand injury. They've all been struggling of late. Luke Hughes, we mentioned him, we highlighted him off the top. He's your highest paid player by AAV, and he had a terrible mistake, a mistake that should get him benched in that first period that leads to a goal against. And you just have a whole bunch of other guys, whole slew of other guys. Bratt has been inconsistent, obviously, for the past month. Nico Hischier, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but I know he's gone goalless for a little bit here as well. Things are not good right now for the New Jersey Devils, and I think, I think that when things are going well, and if they can get a GM and maybe even a new coach that can, put the core pieces in better positions to succeed and start playing to their strengths a little bit more, start leaning into that skill that made them so successful in that 22-23 season, I think things can be okay. But as of right now, those things just aren't happening. So, yeah, I don't blame people for starting to question the core there and the DNA of the team, because right now this product is just not it. Alex Walsh, I mean, we just go to the regular comments unless somebody wants to, get us, hit us up with some more super chats, which we would appreciate. Alex Walsh, Mr. Novo, I'm not sure if I can do this anymore. Alex, I want to say that I could talk you off the ledge here, but I just don't know if I can. The bright spots have been few and far between for this Devils team of late. Again, they've been slipping like crazy. Let me just read the stats since the 8-game win streak. 12, 15, and 2. That just seems, so let's call it 12 and 17 since the 8-game win streak. Just feels like such a long time ago, Alex. Jack is definitely not fully play ready. I know we needed him back, but he shouldn't have rushed back. Yeah, I mean, I think you even saw on the broadcast the other day, which keen viewers would have seen this. Even Jack took his glove off on the bench, and you had to really look for it. But he's still playing with the cast, so that is that's a sign of somebody that wanted to come back and wanted to push it a little bit, see if he can come back and help the team. And so far they haven't won a game since he's come back. So that is incredibly ridiculous. It's just a sign of the times for the Devils right now. Shaba says, "Hey Ryan, I love what Tom Fitzgerald has been doing in the direction this team is heading." I sense some sarcasm there, Shaba. I sense some sarcasm there. Sean Harrington, Luke Hughes stinks. His contract is horrendous right now. Wouldn't disagree with you. I think that the goal for the Luke Hughes contract was to pay him and hope that this ages incredibly well, like the Jack contract has. And as of right now, it has not. It actually, it's been terrible this year. Like Luke Hughes has been very, very bad this year, and is certainly not living up to that $9 million per year billing. And the fact that that was such a tough negotiation too, just is further proof that maybe he should have been at training camp instead of doing that. Rick Roma, Devils aren't fighting anyone softest team I can remember besides Dylan. CBJ probably just talked all that trash to scare the Devils because they're a team full of wimps. Can't blame me for thinking that. Yeah, I thought when the Devils would have iced their starting lineup, I thought for sure it might have been Paul Cotter and Brendan Dillon, and you didn't get any of that. What was the starters tonight? It was like Dougie Hamilton, the glass line, and then for Columbus, it was a bunch of former Devils. It was like Miles Wood, Severson, and a whole bunch of other guys like that. Let's see. NASRN on YouTube. Honestly, looking more forward to the PSU. Oh man, are you going to that? Hit me up on Twitter if you're going to that NASRN on YouTube, because I am 100% going to that. I already called out PTO. Don't get mad at me if I missed that Blues game. I think it is, or what? There's a game. I think it's the Predators Devils game on the later this month. I will 100% be at that OSU game. So definitely hit me up there, NASRN on YouTube, on Twitter. Just tweet at me, and we'll do a little meetup there, because that's going to be a blast. I'm an Oklahoma State alum, so we'll definitely make that happen. Adam G, I've been thinking for a while this team needs to do what Florida did, bringing in Chuck, or what Vegas did, bringing in Eichel. The problem with that is that those trades just don't happen all the time. I mean, the trade that you might have considered, in that ilk, would have been Quinn or Nico Hischier for Quinn Hughes, or Jesper Bratt for Quinn Hughes, and obviously that didn't end up happening. So I think that would have been the move there, superstar on superstar trade, and it ends up aging well for you. And I think that player is gone. I mean, sure, there are other players that are going to be out there that are going to be available for the taking, but right now it's just, I don't know. Let's see. My gosh, so many people just saying, Mr. Novo, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Guys, I'm not a therapist. I can't talk you off the ledge there. I can just, going to continue calling it like it is. So please continue to tune into the live streams. And if you want the most honest Devils coverage, come right here. Adam G, a major trade to shake things up. I think you're talking about the New Year's resolution that Zach Shin said in the super chat there. Yeah, but at that point, that could also be considered a panic trade. And by the way, the Devils 100% should not be trading any first round picks in that as part of that trade. Let's go and before we end the stream here, because I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know it's New Year's Eve and that's fine. Before the intermission before the intermission ends, we're going to do a quick little tankathon, see if we can get the Devils to win the draft lottery. Let's pull this up right here, folks. All right. Sim the lottery. Okay, no. Can we get them to even move? Oh, we got them the second pick. So not quite McKenna territory, but you could still get a really, really good player there. I know Bjork is somebody that a lot of Devils fans have been keen on it lately. So let's see if they can end up getting somebody, because right now you should not be trading that pick. Guys, that'll do it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're not going to do a post-game stream today because I know that you guys have New Year's plans, and thinking about it, and talking with you guys the other day, didn't sound like that was the move for this game anyway. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy New Year, everybody. Right back to our regularly scheduled program after this, regular post-game streams, but this one we're going to do it just a little bit different. And have a great day and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.